Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming to you day after Thanksgiving. It's November 2021. As I film this video, we are considered, this is the big day. This is Black Friday. So this is the day that everybody is, spending money, you know. Some may say people are getting in debt. Um, this video, unfortunately, is not about either of that. It's not about getting out of debt. It's not about Black Friday, but it is about the game is to be sold, not told. So I just want to start right there. And so if you are new to this channel, I never want to assume, hi, Tarika. I think this is Renee. Hey, Renee. I never want to assume people know who I am, but my name is Lorelia, and I primarily on this channel, I talk about credit. I talk about leveraging credit to invest in real estate. So a lot of the people that I work with are either new investors, real estate investors, or seasoned investors who want to get access to credit to either expand their portfolio or to start a new portfolio. And that is why I wanted to do this video on, okay, yes, hey, how you doing, Renee? Um, Wanted to do this video on the game is to be sold, not told. And what motivated me to do this video was based on a conversation that I had right before Thanksgiving. And so tonight, what I'm going to talk about is many of us don't understand the game that is being played. Um, Let me stress that we don't get the game that is being played. Pass me that book over there. I'm going to share a book that I am currently reading, just so people get an understanding that we live in a day and time now where you cannot blame people for keeping information from you. So I am reading this book right here, Only the Rich Can Play. Um, apparently the author is David Wessel. My local Barnes and Noble, I came across it. It looked like a good read, and when I read uh, the leaflet inside here, it started with billionaire Sean Parker. And if you don't know who Sean Parker is, he created Napster, and he was the person who assisted my Mark Zuckerberg in um helping him get on the road to become a billionaire. He introduced him to Peter Thiel, who is a big um, uh, private equity guy, and he helped him build a Facebook. So the reason why I mention this book is because this book talks about um, the opportunities that exist in urban communities. And so there is a very common term that people use called gentrification. Um, every hood, almost every hood in America, at least that I know of, there are people who can tell you a story of what that hood used to look like, and that now they are pushing the people out, meaning the people who look a lot like us, and people who don't look like us are moving in, they're buying the homes, they're fixing them up, they're putting a higher price tag, and now people who look like us don't get to live in those communities. Well, this book talks a lot about that. It talks a lot about the tax breaks that the wealthy can take advantage of. And so that leads me into the game is to be sold, not told. When I was having this conversation with the person a few days ago, now this person shared with me that just on my free content, what I share here on YouTube, and I know I'm on YouTube and Facebook, over 500 videos, and of those videos and the content that he watched, he was able to acquire, well, I shouldn't say he, but the person was able to acquire two buildings, They're cash flowing, and they use some of the strategies that I talked about in my videos, and that he was looking to work. He was looking to see how we can work together. Since he had got value from what I shared, and actually used it and executed it. So I say all this to say he was ready to go to the next step. And he know that from his knowledge and expertise, he was only able to get to a certain point. And now he needed someone else. And that's why he reached out to me to assist him. Well, lo and behold, um, you know, during that conversation, and this is a conversation that I have with many people, not just the person that I spoke to. Once they get access to getting the money, they realize it's not that hard. And let me share this with you. The very wealthy, the Sean Parkers of the world, the Zuckerbergs, the Peter Thiels, the private equity groups, the Blackstones of the world, they know that the lowest value of wealth is actual money. But when you have a group of people who never have gotten access to anything, and we are just beginning to get an understanding and a grasp of a little bit about how this game is working, we realize, oh man, this ain't it. Like it's more to it. And so I say all that to say was that during the conversation with the person I had this week, the person was saying, um, I need for you, me, I need for you to help me with this. And I need help with that. And understand, when a person wants my help one on one, meaning they want me to hold their hand, they want access to talk to me, they want access to use my resources, they want strategies on how they can be able to do certain things, there is an investment to be made. But on the other breath, the person was saying that they've scored with getting access to money, and that they said that, oh, I love my lenders. And this is the part where it gets funny, because there's a joke that I have with friends of mine, that when people like us, we have the other people who don't look like us, when they give us something, and in this regard, it's actually access to cash and money, and we bucket our eyes. I love my lenders. I love my lenders, and they just bucket their eyes or whatever. And as much as this person was saying how much they love their lenders, and how their lenders was able to, be able to get them access for them to be able to get into these deals, where I shared information online on how they were able to do it, the lenders ain't sharing the other playbook. And that's why this video was created. See, what people don't understand is the you can never go to, and I'm gonna be upfront. You're never gonna go to someone who don't look like us. They look like the Sean Parkers of the world, you know what I mean. They look like the Mike Zuckerbergs of the world, you know what I mean. See, people that look like us, black people, they ain't never gonna go to them and say, uh, give me the game, share with me the game. Because even if you ask them, they're not gonna tell you the game. This book that I just showed is not a very small read. It's about how many pages? 300 pages. You want to know the game? You got to read about the game. Because the thing is that they will give you money. And I've said this so many times in my videos. Getting access to money ain't a problem. I have clients I worked with, and they've seen, you know what, Lorelia, prior to working with you, I thought it was hard to get access to. But now that I've learned some things from you, it ain't that hard. See, the hard part is being able to take the 90 or the $130,000 in business credit and grow that to 500K. That's the hard part. And that's the part they're not going to tell you. They will give you credit. But see, the reason why we don't understand, and we don't understand, when I say we don't understand the credit game, it's because no one told us what the credit game really is. And I'm going to break it down to you in this video. The credit game now is your modern day 40 acres in a mule. If people are asking when we going to get our share, when we going to get our share, you can get your share if you understand the rules of how the credit game works, and being able to marry it to real estate, and for you to have the ability to cash flow. That's your 40 acres in a mule. But understand the reason why we don't know that, we don't put that play in action, because people who don't look like us, you're looking for them to give you that play. They're not going to give it to you. They'll give you 100K. I say that all the time in my videos. There's no problem with getting access to money that's secured against an asset. If you don't know what secured is, I did videos on that. It is a bit more difficult to get unsecured. Unsecured is the ability to get funding that's not attached to the asset, but you can get it. But there are rules to the engagement. And those rules we never looked at. We never knew. Because, see, many of us, when we think about credit, or when credit was presented to us, it was a quick cash grab. I got some cash. I just got approved for 20,000. I just got approved for 5. It's a quick cash grab. But imagine, now take yourself back, whoever watches this video, take yourself back to when you first got a credit card. For everybody, it's different. I think I got my first one at 20. I think it was a Macy's. At that time, Macy's was actually giving you a credit card if you worked for them. And then after that, I had a MasterCard, which was with, that bank doesn't exist no more. MBNA. They got bought by, I'm not sure. But imagine if someone has sat you down and said, "Hey, Lorelia, whatever your name is, insert. This right here is a credit card, and this is your 40 acres and a mule. This credit card will give you the ability to create generational wealth for your family. And they give you the playbook on how to do it. So with this getting this credit, you gonna leverage it to buy an asset. You're not gonna buy frivolous stuff. You're not gonna buy toys and trinkets. You're only gonna use this credit to be able to get access to assets that's going to create cash flow, that's going to create equity, that's going to build generational wealth that you can pass down. Here is your credit card. Now imagine if the credit card came with those rules. We wouldn't look at it as a quick cash grab. So now we're over the age of adulthood. If you, a woman of a certain age like me, you're over the age of 45. Some people may be watching this video over the age of 35. And you still don't know the game. Nothing wrong with that. You still don't know it. So now you still in that place of, I got grown people. That's why I said over the age of 45, 50. Can you prove how, can you prove to me that you can get me some funding? I ain't gotta prove nothing. It's been proven as of 2020, 2021. I've worked with investors who've gotten access to 500K. This ain't about proving nothing. This is about you believing in yourself, because see, what people want is the person who don't look like them to give them the game, because they'll quickly give you the money, but they won't give you the game. And this is the trickery. This is the trickery. Many people know that about themselves. That's why they will say, I don't want no business credit tied to my PG. You know what that really means? That really means is, I don't trust myself, Lorelia. I really don't know the game. And there's a good chance that if I get access to a lot of money and I trick off on it, I don't want to pay it back. And if I don't, and if I don't have to pay it back, I'm good with knowing that, hey, it's a business. It ain't attached to my personal. And you know what? I could do this again. That's really what that means. But once again, if you knew the other rule, that, hey, let me be a good steward of this personal credit, because the world can be my oyster to get anything that I want on the business side, because I don't have no assets. So if I do what's right with the personal, because I know that this is my 40 acres and a mule, this credit card right here is my 40 acres and a mule. I am now going to be a good steward of it, because I know that this credit is credit that I can now finance not only my generation, me and my family, but it can be passed down to my children. That is why you have now people putting the little memes together telling you that if you have a child who's 16, add them onto the credit card, they can start building, their own, they can start getting that season credit that you have. And then by the time they're 18, they'll have things in place. That play has been around for many, many moons, since the credit industry was created. Once again, that we didn't know that playbook. People look like us didn't know that playbook. So we didn't know that that even existed. So now, once again, like, oh, booking our eyes. Oh, I done learned something. That's great. Don't knock it. I'm never gonna knock someone who's just learning, but understand, if that play has been around forever, that's not a new play. It may be new to you. You may have seen that meme on social media and it's new to you, but it's a play that's been around forever. If that play's been around forever, it's because the other people who don't look like us, only the rich can play. They know that that's the 40 acres and a mule. They know that. They know that. So that is why I say the game is to be sold, not told, because there are many lenders. And back to that conversation, that same person is telling me, oh, I got this with Chase and I got this with Citibank and Wells Fargo. Then why don't you tell them to give you the game? Why don't you tell them to give you the game then? Because once again, they're not. Even your smallest lenders will not give you the game. Your local regional lenders, your credit unions. See what a lot of people don't understand is, when you decide to be a student of this game, you eat the chicken and throw the bones away. And so what that means is that what I teach the people that I work with is leverage the credit and then move on. And you're moving on because you know the other plays. You see what I'm saying? Most people, since they don't have no plays, they don't know how to really move on to the next step. Okay, I got access to this 90. How I'm gonna flip this to 250? How I'm gonna make this to a 500K? And so since they don't know that now, they like, oh well, what's I don't really know what else is, and that's the whole point. Because I tell people, don't get me wrong, we live in a time and place now. It's a lot of free game, a lot of free game. Take advantage of it. Podcasts, videos, places like platforms like here, like YouTube. But eventually you will hit a brick wall. Same as that person. The person watched some of my free stuff, was able to acquire some properties. Now they want to go to the next step. And to be honest with you, the step that they want to make, they so close to it. They so close to it. And then one will say, well, Lori, why they what? Because it's not nothing that you see. The thing is that people think it's just tell me what to do in 10 minutes. Tell me what to do in 10 minutes. It's not a 10-minute thing. So I can't just get on the phone and tell someone. But I knew what that person wanted to do. And I knew that if they were structured right, which I talked about in my last video about QFEs, qualified funding entities, the world can become their oyster. The same with that person. So, no, I know I've been here for a minute. My whole point in this, because I'm 20 minutes already, is that there's a certain point when you really have to come to a decision to say, can I do this on my own? Because, see, this is what I feel very comfortable with knowing. There's too much content on my channel. I can't speak what else is on there on social media and YouTube. But just on my channel alone, it's enough to get a person to first base. If they're ready for the next point, and the next point is the relationships, a more intimate rule book on how to get there, there is an investment to be made. And so tomorrow, I am going to be having a workshop. Workshop's going to be a few hours, and I'm going to be sharing out the same playbook that I have with all my. This ain't something about I think it works. I know it works because the results are there. You show me anyone who is in this business credit space that's helping their clients get the results. I'm not talking about what they have. I get it. They driving Maybachs and they in jets and they got Maseratis and Bugattis and all. I'm talking about what have they did for the clients. Show me their results. And like I said, most people come to me, oh, I was able to get 20,000. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Nothing wrong with that. I ain't gonna knock it. But I tell people, if you only want 25K, I'm not your person. Person that I'm looking to work with is, like I said, they're either investors, real estate investors, who are doing deals and want access to money, or who have did deals, or they have a want to get in real estate, and now they just want access to cash. Those two people. But they understand that to get there, they need at least a minimum of 50 or 60,000. So I tell people, if you already have access to some stuff, because once again, there are people who reach out to me similar to that person. Lorelia, I'm good on business credit. I got that. But I'm looking for this. I want to be able to get a line of credit. And I want a line of credit that just my business, nothing with a PG. Okay, let's talk. Because now you got a few things. This person has revenue. Once again, the three R's: revenue, receivables, and real estate. Person had two of the three. Person has revenue. Person has real estate. Receivables is just is a derivative of revenues, because receivables is just, this is what I'm going to collect. So we got receivables on the book. So the person has three. So now we can talk about those high level things. But come on, like we going into 2022. Like I said, the game is to be so. It's too many people online who can teach y'all how to get some fast cash to grab. That's not here. Most people just want some. Like I said, most people are looking at credit as a cash grab. Shoot, how can I get some fast cash? Can you help me get 50,000? Yeah, how can I get some fast cash? They don't realize that here, I'm gonna give you this credit. This is your 40 acres and a mule. This is not only gonna set you free, but it's gonna set your children's free. That's a whole nother conversation. And that is what credit can do for you. So when you get that conversation and when you get to that place of in your mindset, the world will be your oyster. It's not hard to do. Most of the stuff out here in the marketplace is confusing you, and that's why most people have not accumulated anything, and they're looking like I said, like bucking their eyes, like, uh you a grown person. Can you prove to me? I'm not gonna prove to nobody that I can get them some. I know it. I know that my process works because it works. It works. But most people are just they, like I said, they dazed and confused about someone else's Bugatti and someone else's Maybach. It reminds me of this, and I know I said I'm gonna come off. There's a video circulating with what's his name? Kanye. I think he was on the Breakfast Club or whatever. And he talked about um uh the sneaker company, and how his first deal with Nike, how they didn't want to give him royalties. They wanted to give him a whole bunch of money up front, and they didn't want to give him no royalties and stuff on the back end. And in that video he talked about that those billionaires, the ones who are brokering and putting these deals together, they know them giving you some money, that ain't nothing. That's nothing. That's peanuts. They know the real wealth is in the royalties, is in, the back end stuff. And that's why Kanye was saying right now it's a modern day cotton picking situation going on. And I know one may say, oh, well, that's Kanye. He was married to the Kardashians. He got a whole bunch of money. But the principle still applies, that people are quick. That's why I said I'm not interested in having no conversation with nobody asking me, can I prove to them I can get some money? It's been proven. Look at the testimonials. You need to prove it to yourself. Like I said, it's too many people giving away money. You just don't know how to do it. You just don't know how to do it. So it's too plentiful. It's too much, and I'm talking about things that's legal, not illegal strategies. But that's all I have for you. If you want to learn more about that workshop, links will be below. You go to www.neverloseadealevents.com. Like I said, it's a workshop, a couple of hours. I'll be sharing the whole process, the blueprint on how I helped my clients get to where they're at in terms of the funding. Because at the end of the day, people want access to the credit and the cash. They don't want a bunch of theory. That's what most people are doing in this space. They're giving people a lot of theory, a lot of content, and then it leaves people hopeless. Like, well, how do I get to the money? So once again, this is Lorelia, and I am signing off. Thank you for those who stayed on and and listened, and also thank you for those who will watch the replay. So this is Lorelia, and I am signing off.